course. So today we'll be talking on FVG, fair value gap, and fair value gap entry only. Now, I always emphasize, whatever you're doing, do it according to the trend. Do it according to the trend. It makes the work easy. So today I'll be showing you the type of FVG we have and fair value gap I use if I want to use fair value gap for entry. So now, simply, fair value gap is just that gap we have between this, a candle, and the next. This is just what we call fair value gap. This is fair value gap. They call it fair valuation. So this is the kind of fair value gap we have in the market. This is just the gap in on-field orders we have between the third candle and the first and the third candle. You understand? So it's just that simple. So but people make it complicated. So but in all this, I don't trade any kind of fair value gap I see in the market if I want to trade fair value gap. So what I do is I trade fair value gap that have breaker block around it, or old low or old high. It's called institutional order flow entry drill, IOFED. So it gives me more, over time it gives me more confidence trading it than just trading any fair value gap I see. And also I like trading fair value gap that is in accordance to trend. Whatever I do in the market, I like to be in accordance to trend. It makes it easier. So, and also it can also include time and price. I also explain it in my next video, time and price, when you're taking your trade. So now, when you're taking fair value gap, for example, we have fair value gap here. It's very tiny. Why did I prefer this instead of this? This has a breaker block, old high, that was taken out. So I prefer this than this. Most times these don't hold, but this holds. Though we predict and we act according to what the market is giving us. But over time, I don't like taking this kind of fair value gap. I prefer to take this, unless if this fair value gap is above here, so which is fair value gap and old high. Or another type of fair value gap I like taking is when you have fair value gap, though it's not always in the, you don't always see it in the market, where you have fair value gap here, for example, like fair value gap around the, like in this region, and another fair value gap by the side. I'll look for it as well and show you. I think I saw it on USD card on the daily. I will still make analysis, I'll still make reference to that. So this is another kind of fair value gap we have, where we have fair value gap on the left and fair value gap on the right. So now let's come down to entry. So the entry, the way you take entry on this is you divide your risk into, you divide this into two. There are two types of entry you have here. Either you use the tip of this, let me maximize this as well for proper view. Either you take the tip, because most times I take the tip if it's lying with this breaker block, but if it's not lying with this breaker block, I use 50% of it. So because there's a scenario you get where the tip is lying with this breaker block, most time they use breaker block and move, because when it comes to the institutional reference point, I will still explain this. Is when it comes to institutional reference point, the breaker block is considered first before the other block. You understand? So that's why most times you see somebody waiting for other block, and maybe the person went to do refinement on another block, and the market move without him or her. So the first entry will have entry first one here, entry second one here, and then when it comes to SL, here is supposed to be your SL. The down, the bottom of the low of that candle that created that move is where your SL is supposed to look be. This is it. This is where your SL is supposed to be. So same thing goes to this place. When you, if you use this fair value gap, you can use the tip 50%, then this is where your SL will be. Most time people use all the way down here, which is large. Do you understand? So this is just FVG, how I use it for your entry. And most times when you're entering FVG, fair value gap, check if another fair value gap is, if you're buying, check if there's another fair value gap up. That's mostly where you will take your profit, or look out for the nearest liquidity, immediate high, equal high or equal low for your entry. Same thing for your exit, same thing here. You see now, I think this was lying, we'll have fair value gap here. It's just same thing. Just look at how the market keep repeating itself. You see, same thing here. So if I'm entering, this will be my first entry. This will be my first entry. Second entry, my SL here, or you use here, or you wait for lower time frame confirmation, you enter. This is just me explaining fair value gap entry, not other block. I've already explained other block. Go down to the other video, you see where I explained how you enter using other block. See you guys in the next video.